Okay, so imagine you're standing in the middle of a warehouse. Floor to ceiling, there are filing cabinets. Every single one is stuffed with influencer profiles, engagement rates, contact emails, campaign spreadsheets, payment receipts. And your job is to somehow turn all of that chaos into a marketing campaign that actually makes money. That's what influencer marketing feels like without the right tool. You're just drowning in tabs. I spent the last 3 weeks testing a platform called Upfluence. And honestly, it kind of changed the way I think about this entire process. But, and there is a but, there's one catch that almost made me walk away. I'll get to that. If you want to check it out while I talk, the link's in the description. Go poke around. I'll be here. So let me back up. If you're running a small brand, or you're a solopreneur, or you're like me, a freelance marketer who somehow ended up managing influencer campaigns for clients, you know the pain. You've probably tried doing influencer outreach manually. You know, the old-fashioned way. You open Instagram, you scroll, you find someone who looks like they might be a fit. You squint at their follower count. You try to guess if their engagement is real. You DM them. They don't respond. You DM 12 more. 2 respond. 1 ghosts you after you send the brief. The other one wants $4,000 for a single story post. And then your client asks, "So how's the influencer campaign going?" Yeah. Now, the obvious answer is to use a platform, right? There are big names out there. Aspire IQ, Creator IQ, Grin, Tracker. And look, some of those are genuinely powerful tools. I'm not going to trash them just to make Upfluence look good. That's not what this is. But here's the thing. And if you've priced any of those out, you already know what I'm about to say. Most of them are enterprise-level expensive. We're talking custom quotes that start at $2,000 a month? Some of them won't even talk to you unless you have a certain team size or ad spend. And the ones that are more accessible? They tend to be kinda half-baked. You get a search tool and that's about it. No CRM, no payment tracking, no analytics worth looking at, so you end up in this brutal middle ground where you're paying for 3 or 4 different tools. A discovery tool, a spreadsheet for tracking, an email platform for outreach, maybe a separate analytics dashboard. And you're stitching it all together with duct tape and prayers. Subscription fatigue is real, people. I counted once. I was paying for 11 different SaaS tools in a single month. 11. Some of them I'd forgotten I even had. And that's the space Upfluence is trying to own. The we do everything in one place space. The question is, does it actually? Let's find out. All right, so here's what happened. I signed up, or rather, I requested a demo because Upfluence doesn't do the whole free trial, click a button, you're in thing. More on that later because it's a choice. But once I got access, the first thing I did was test their influencer search and discovery engine. And this is honestly where the platform kind of blew my expectations out of the water. So I had a client, small skincare brand, mostly DTC. Target audience is women 25 to 40 in the US. Not a huge budget. They wanted micro-influencers, the sweet spot, real engagement, not vanity metrics. I go into Upfluence's search, and you know how most discovery tools give you 3 filters? Follower count, location, maybe category? Upfluence gave me over 20. I'm filtering by engagement rate. Actual verified engagement rate, not just what the profile claims. I'm filtering by audience demographics. Not the influencer's demographics, the audience's demographics. So I can say, show me creators whose followers are 60% or more women, aged 25 to 40, located in the United States. That's a game changer because, and I can't stress this enough, the influencer's audience matters more than the influencer. I don't care if the creator is a 22-year-old dude in Berlin. If his audience is exactly my client's target market, that's a win. So I set my filters. I click search. I waited 5 seconds. Over 3,000 results. And not garbage results. Like actual profiles with real content, real engagement, verified data. I could see their posting frequency, their average likes to comments ratio, which brands they'd worked with before, whether their follower growth looked organic or, sus. So I spent about an hour, honestly less than an hour, and I had a short list of 40 influencers that were genuinely perfect for this campaign. 40. That same process used to take me a week of manual scrolling and spreadsheet gymnastics. But here's where it gets interesting, because finding influencers is one thing. Managing them, that's a whole different nightmare. Upfluence has this built-in CRM-style workflow, so once I've got my shortlist, I can move them into a campaign pipeline. Think of it like a Kanban board, but for influencer relationships. There's stages: contacted, negotiating, contracted, content submitted, content approved, paid. I sent outreach emails directly from the platform. I didn't have to switch to Gmail. I didn't have to copy-paste. I used one of their templates, customized it, and bulk sent to my shortlist. And, okay, this part genuinely surprised me. I could track open rates and response rates on those emails inside the platform. So I'm sitting there watching my outreach performance like it's an email marketing campaign, which it kind of is, but I'd never thought of it that way before. Within 2 days, I had 14 responses, negotiated rates with 9 of them. And here's the kicker. I managed the contracts, approved their content drafts, and processed payments all without leaving Upfluence. All in one tab. You know that warehouse full of filing cabinets I mentioned at the beginning? Upfluence basically digitized the whole thing and put it on one screen. That's what it felt like. Now, remember that catch I mentioned? We're getting close. But first, let me talk about what this actually looks like day to day. So one thing I was really curious about was, okay, this looks good in a demo, but does it actually fit into my life? Because I've used plenty of tools that are impressive but not practical, you know? Like the tool is doing too much and suddenly you need a certification just to set up a campaign. Upfluence has a learning curve. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a sign up and figure it out in 10 minutes situation. There's a lot of functionality and the UI is, well, I'll get to that in the pros and cons, but the core daily workflow, once you get it, you get it. My typical morning looked like this. I'd log in, check my campaign dashboard, see which influencers had submitted content overnight, review and approve it, check my analytics on live posts, and flag anything that needed follow-up. 15 minutes, maybe 20. Compare that to before, where I was bouncing between Instagram DMs, Google Sheets, email threads, and a janky analytics tool that crashed every other day. One thing that really helped was their e-commerce integrations. If you're running a Shopify, WooCommerce, or BigCommerce store, and honestly, who isn't at this point, Upfluence plugs right in. It can identify influencers from your existing customer base. Let me say that again because I almost glossed over it and it's actually wild. It scans your customer list and finds people who are already buying your products and have a social media following. That's not discovery. That's mining. You're turning customers into ambassadors. And because they already love the product, their content is authentic. It's not forced. It's not that awkward, so I've been using this serum for 2 days and my skin is transformed energy. As for support, I reached out to their team twice during my testing. Once for a technical question about API integration, once because I genuinely couldn't figure out how to export a report. Both times I got a response within a few hours. Not instant, not chatbot fast, but real human answers that actually solved the problem. There's also a pretty decent knowledge base and some onboarding resources. I will say, I didn't find a massive community around Upfluence the way you'd see with, like, a HubSpot or a Notion. There's no subreddit buzzing with power users sharing templates. That might matter to you? It might not. Just putting it out there. Their roadmap seems active. They've been rolling out AI-powered features. Influencer matching suggestions, predictive performance analytics, that kind of thing. Whether those features are gimmicks or genuinely useful, I'd say they're somewhere in between right now. Early but promising. Oh, and no Chrome extension as far as I could tell. No dedicated mobile app either. It's browser-based, which for a desktop workflow is fine. But if you're someone who wants to review influencer content from your phone on the couch at 10 p.m., and let's be honest, that's half of us, it's a gap. All right, pros and cons. And I'm going to be real here because nobody needs another review where everything is sunshine and rainbows, and use my code for 20% off. Pros. First, the discovery engine is elite. I'm not using that word lightly. The depth of filters, the audience demographic analysis, the data quality, it's best in class. If finding the right influencers is your biggest pain point, this alone might justify the platform. Second, the all-in-one workflow actually works. Discovery, outreach, CRM, content management, payments, analytics, it's all there. And it's not just there in some, it's connected. Data flows between stages. You're not re-entering information. You're not exporting CSVs and importing them somewhere else. It's genuinely integrated. Third, the e-commerce integration is a secret weapon. Seriously. Turning your existing customers into brand ambassadors with actual data to back it up? That's not a feature. That's a strategy. Fourth, analytics and ROI tracking. You can actually measure what a campaign did. Revenue attribution, EMV, earned media value, engagement breakdowns by platform. Your CFO will thank you. Or if you are your own CFO, which, let's be honest, most of us are, you'll thank you. Cons. Okay, here we go. First, and this is the catch I've been teasing, the pricing is not transparent and it is not cheap. Upfluence does not publish pricing on their website. You have to book a demo, talk to a sales rep, and get a custom quote. From what I've gathered, and from conversations in various marketing communities, plans start in the ballpark of roughly $1,000 to $2,000 per month and can go significantly higher depending on features and scale. Let that land for a second. If you're a solopreneur running a side hustle with a $300 monthly marketing budget, this is probably not for you. And I think that's important to say out loud because the marketing on their site feels accessible, but the price tag is enterprise-leaning. Second, the UI is functional but not beautiful. It gets the job done, but it feels a little 2019? Some screens are dense. The navigation isn't always intuitive. I found myself clicking around looking for features I knew existed. It's not ugly. It's just not the kind of interface that makes you want to open it. Third, no free trial. You can't just poke around and see if it fits. You have to go through the sales process. For some people, that's a deal breaker. I get it. I kind of respect the confidence, but I also kind of wish I could have tested it on my own terms first. Fourth, it's optimized for e-commerce brands. If you're a SaaS company, a service business, a B2B brand, you can still use it, but some of the most powerful features, like the Shopify integration, affiliate tracking, product seeding, won't apply to you. You'd be paying for a platform where a significant chunk of the value is locked behind use cases that aren't yours. Who is this not for? Solo creators on tight budgets, hobbyist marketers, anyone who manages fewer than, say, 10 influencer relationships at a time. If your influencer strategy is DMing 3 people on Instagram once a quarter, you don't need this. A spreadsheet and some hustle will get you there. All right, verdict time. Upfluence is honestly one of the most complete influencer marketing platforms I've used, and I've used a lot of them. The discovery is phenomenal. The workflow integration is real, not just marketing fluff. The e-commerce angle is genuinely innovative, and the analytics give you something most tools don't. Actual proof that your campaign worked. But it's not for everyone, and that's okay. If you're a DTC e-commerce brand doing serious influencer marketing, it's a real channel for you, not an experiment, Upfluence is worth every dollar. The time savings alone on discovery and management will pay for itself within a couple of campaigns. If you're running campaigns with 20, 50, 100 plus influencers, this is built for you. You'll feel the difference immediately. If you're an agency managing influencer campaigns for multiple clients, yeah, this makes sense. The multi-campaign management, the reporting, the payment processing, it's built for scale. If you're spending over $1,000 a month on a patchwork of 3 or 4 different tools, a discovery tool, an email tool, a spreadsheet, an analytics platform, consolidating into Upfluence could actually save you money. Which sounds counterintuitive given the price, but do the math. Add up what you're paying now. I bet it's close. But if you're a small creator, a freelancer just starting out, or someone running lean, I'd say hold off. Not because the tool isn't good, but because the investment doesn't match where you are yet. Use that money for actual influencer partnerships instead. Build the volume first. Come back to Upfluence when the manual process starts breaking. The price is roughly $1,000 to $2,000 per month depending on your plan, and you'll need to talk to their team for an exact quote. I know that's frustrating. I wish they'd just put it on the website, but that's the reality. Look, I don't do perfect scores. Nothing's perfect. But if I had to put a number on it, 8 out of 10 for the right user. Maybe a 6 out of 10 if you're not in their sweet spot. If you want to check it out, and I genuinely think it's worth at least booking a demo to see what modern influencer marketing infrastructure looks like, even if you don't buy today, grab the link in the show notes or the description below. It does help support the pod, and I appreciate that more than you know. And hey, if you've used Upfluence or if you're using one of the competitors and you think I'm wrong about something, drop a comment. I read all of them. Seriously, even the mean ones, especially the mean ones. They keep me humble. All right, that's the review. Go build something. I'll catch you in the next one.